What a crazy day and a crazy week it's been. You know, we heard all the stories. It's World War III. It's all going to be over. Even my parents were ridiculing me for living in Dubai this year and telling me how it wasn't safe out there. And of course, I always tell anybody living in America that it's much safer there than a school shooting, is what I tell them. And it turns out that even though we saw yesterday Iran throw some missiles over to Qatar, which is right up the road from Dubai, it was really a symbolic gesture. And everything that people thought was going to happen with the next World War III and crisis in the area, it's all not happening. And we saw the price of oil dip. And this was a huge sign yesterday because over the weekend on Sunday, everyone said they were going to close the Strait of Hormuz, and it just didn't happen. And I would say oil dipping was one of the biggest signs that we saw. And I want you to look at this chart right here. You know, we saw the crisis happen. What is this, about 12 days ago, because it's called the 12-day war. Oil was around 65, spiked as high, I think, as 80. And then as soon as we saw that weak response yesterday, everyone said, oh, this is over. That's just a symbolic attack at a quote unquote America's base. And look how far the price crashed, back down to 65 bucks. Now people are saying oil is going to be too low soon, to where it's not even going to be, profitable to pump it in Texas. And so this says the story right there. The other thing that says the story is this metric that we watch if you're an investor in crypto, and it's called Bitcoin dominance. And it looks a little bit something like this. And this shows you how strong the altcoin market is. And again, we saw Bitcoin dominance spike up to really this level up here, something more like in the 60s. And we saw that it then came all the way back down to more like these levels here, and it will probably continue to drop. When we see this happen, we're going to see the altcoin season come, and we've already seen that going on. In fact, if you look at the major cryptocurrencies right now, you can see that Ethereum is up 6% in the last 24 hours, with Bitcoin only up 2.5%. That never happens. It's very rare, and it just means that some of the altcoins are getting some love. Look, we'll see if this continues. We woke up this morning to the ceasefire being temporarily over. Trump swore publicly on air, which I'm not going to do here. But as one of the generals, General Stanley McChrysty, who's been a guest on the show, he said, sometimes one of the greatest bombs to drop is an F-bomb. And Trump was clearly a little bit upset with both Israel and Iran for not honoring their word to him. Sound like that got sorted out real quick. And it looks like we have at least a temporary ceasefire and some peace there, which is really bullish. I talked to my friends in the UAE. There was never, ever any issue there. No one was ever worried, despite what you read on the BBC, which we know is nonsense. So that means it's time to get back to investing in crypto. We are looking at deals. We looked at 2 deals last night. We got a bunch of deals that tokens are generating in the next couple of weeks. And I want to talk about how this is just the start of a massive bull run that's going to really peak around Q4 this year. And that's what we've been expecting. So let me just jump in here and share this presentation. As everybody can see here, the Trump Middle East ceasefire sends crypto skyrocketing higher. And we believe all-time highs are coming. Bitcoin's back to 106. The all-time high is 112. And that could easily blast through that this week. Easily. And that's what we're seeing right now, folks. I'm expecting all-time highs in a lot of different cryptos from here on out. I think we'll see 125 Bitcoin, 150K Bitcoin, and maybe 200K Bitcoin by the end of the year. Our good friend Anthony Pompliano yesterday bought $380 million of crypto, of Bitcoin, just for the hell of it. He has a new $1 billion SPAC vehicle, and he thought to himself, why waste time? And he bought it at 103,000. He's already in the money. So many companies are buying Bitcoin. So many governments are buying Bitcoin. So many individuals are buying Bitcoin. When are you going to start to invest in crypto? And that's what I want to talk about today. Before we get started, I just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you are looking for that, please go find a professional. I also want to give you a free gift, which is module 1 of our super premium program called the Investment Club. And it's going to show you how startups raise money on the blockchain. It's a 19-page PDF. It's really impressive. If you go to londonreal.tv/download, it's my free gift for you. And go read that after this presentation is over. I also want to give you a free video, and it's going to show you how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens in 3 easy steps. And it's going to show you how we're making millions, tens of millions, and by the end of the year, hundreds of millions and maybe more behind the scenes with this practice called pre-sale token investing. Nobody's teaching this, and no one's allowing normal people like you and me to invest in the hottest deals on the planet through pre-sale tokens. If you bought it on an exchange, it's too late. That's our theory here. That's our mantra, and it's been extremely profitable so far. Again, pre-sale tokens is a process of secretly buying tokens from a CEO before they ever get offered to the public. Matter of fact, the public doesn't even know this happened. And then when they get listed on an exchange and millions of people can buy them, oftentimes the price goes up, just like an IPO goes up in stock markets when they offer shares. And when that happens, you can see some outside gains. Now, a lot of you are familiar with a crypto called Solana. Raise your hand if you are. It's one of the biggest cryptos out there. Now trades somewhere between 150 bucks and 200 bucks. But you could have bought this thing for 4 pennies each as a pre-sale token. Imagine if you would put $1,000 into this investment, that one trade would be worth 5 million bucks today. Just think about that. An extra 5 mil in the bank if you had just woken up, educated yourself, and found someone with the deal flow. You could literally be creating the wealth that I think you deserve, but you didn't. My question for you is, are you going to miss another opportunity that's happening now? In my opinion, your last opportunity. Folks, this is a deal we did very recently, and this is a part of a legal agreement called the SAF that we signed. And you can see from the blue circle here, we invested $200,000 in this company. That's our standard deal. We bought tokens in this company for 1.25 pennies. You can see that red circle there. We actually bought these cheaper than the Solana tokens. You could have bought it 4 pennies. What happens? Well, we made 4 million bucks in about 4 hours. That's what happened, because the token was up 20x on the launch. And this was the company called Skillful AI. This is the CEO named Zoltan. And Martini, I was just on a Zoom call with him, and everything's looking amazing for those guys. They're doing some serious business. And it was great to catch up with him. And again, after the conversation, he said, Brian, hold on to these tokens. I think it's going to 100x. And of course, a lot of you know the story that happened next, which was weirder, where he said, Brian, I want to join your investment club. Now, this kind of took me off guard, because I thought this guy, Zoltan, he runs one of the biggest and most well-known AI companies on the blockchain, wouldn't need our help for deal flow. But it turns out, he said, Brian, because of your media platform, because you ran for mayor of London, because people know who you are for the last 15 years, you get better deals than I do, and you get cheaper prices, and you get the tokens faster than I could ever dream of. I want in. And so I told him what I'm going to tell anybody here that wants to join us. There's only one way. You got to talk to Martini. And I told him, you're going to have to pay full price, because she doesn't understand the word discount. They didn't teach that word where she went to school. And he said, okay, fine, give me your details. And sure enough, he was in. And so it really goes to show you that our club is full of all sorts of normal London realers like you and me, and also some really high-level people that see this as an incredible opportunity. Folks, this is another deal we did where we did a 20x in 20 days and made a $5 million profit. This is a gaming company on the blockchain. And this is another deal we did called the Mochaverse, and we were up 20x on the launch here. This is Yatsu of Animoca Brands. He's the chairman of this massive gaming and other token conglomerate. They invested in 540 deals. And I actually saw Yat on Monday. He was an amazing forum. We recorded another incredible episode, his 7th on London Real. And he's really bullish on this whole space and on Animoca. We own Animoca and the Mochaverse, and it looks like Animoca could be looking for an IPO next year, which would make my team very, very happy. This is another deal we did. We were up 22x. It's a company called Story Protocol. And here is where we invested alongside the big boys and big girls at Andreessen Horowitz, one of the big VCs out there. And that's probably one of the reasons this token did so well. And of course, our meme coin Cats was up 14x on the launch. I always talk about one of our members, Christina. She put in $30,000 into this token, and she woke up to a $420,000 profit. That's real money, folks. That'll change your life, but you have to pull the trigger and get involved. You have to stop sitting on the sidelines and watching the world go by. You have to get involved. And of course, this is the $1 billion fund we invested in. And this is the fund manager named Dan Tapiero. He's become a good friend, and he's a very impressive investor. And of course, this fund itself is up 4x, probably going higher. And Dan, the fund manager, was recently down on the floor of the stock exchange, and he's had win after win after win after win. I think 4, soon to be 5 of his companies are either gone public this year or have been acquired. And of course, his biggest win was Circle, which I think at one point was up 10x as a stock, not even a token. And we're just really proud of Dan and really happy for his success. Folks, this is where I like to show some of our latest deals, and we got some hot ones right now we're funding on the inside. We have an investment club full of people that actually jump in and invest, and it's based on like the show Shark Tank in America, where the CEOs come on and they pitch us. And if you want to come to one of these calls, you can come on a Monday or a Thursday and actually watch these pitch calls at 7 p.m. London time. Just send Martini a message and you can join us. It's a great way to learn this space, to learn the terms. And you know what they say, the more you learn, the more you earn. And I've had people that never made an investment in their life, never owned a Bitcoin in their life, that within 2 weeks have done their first crypto deal and now have done 10, 20, 30 deals and are making a lot of money. And this is one of the deals right now. This is a post-quantum proof company that's going to basically make it so quantum computers can't hack the blockchain, hack your passwords, and change the future. It's called Naris Protocol. And we're really happy with it. This is what they're doing.
I'm blown away, honestly.
The founder is pretty impressive.
This guy knows what he's doing.
This is the kind of protocol that it's worth 100 billion.
We're going to be the top blockchain protocol. We're using post-quantum cryptography for everything. Generation of keys, for wallets, for data movements. We eliminate single points of failure, prepare for quantum threats. We can apply quantum protection on all data. We enhance trust and compliance and can work at nation state level. We have been in research for about 7 years and created a number of peer-reviewed papers. This is more than proven. And we can do post-quantum RWA assets, post-quantum validations on current chains, and we can apply to any critical environments in the real world.
What do you say to clients who say quantum is never going to happen? It's 20 years out. I got bigger problems now. I don't need you.
Quantum chips are here. They're going to become more and more available. Nation states are spending ridiculous amounts of money on it. This is extremely strategic globally. We are not changing our perspective. We have been advised to do this even 4 or 5 years ago by our NATO advisor generals. So we know we're in the right track. We're just going to carry on.
2 thumbs up if you are a fan of Naris Protocol and everything they're doing. So 2 up from Richard, 2 up from Saskia, 2 up from Arno, Daniel, Patrick, Alessandro. That's 100% up, boys.
It seems like something we should be in. I'm glad we have this opportunity. It's amazing.
I think everything is going to be going quantum, and they got high-level partnerships.
It seems very, very high potential for what's coming in the future in this ecosystem.
This is probably one of the best mature projects we've ever seen. The opportunity seems pretty much infinite. They are the perfect people in the right sector doing the right project. These guys are thinking about the future and beyond.
Boom, there you go. We love this. It will be probably our only post-quantum computing investment in the portfolio. We definitely want one because this is the future. Every week we seem to hear that Google's coming out with a new quantum computer and this, and it's going to be closer than we think. So love this space. And again, you can kind of see the format of where the CEOs are pitching us. You can see the members of the investment club giving their input. This really is a community. We make a community decision. We reach a consensus before we actually invest in the deals. The next company I want to show you is called Snowball Money. And it's actually run by a guy named Parul. And Parul used to be an investor, and he realized he was going to come out of kind of retirement as investing and come back and operate. And Parul has actually already been inside London Real Studios and recorded our interview with him. And this is what he says about Snowball Money.
My whole career has come to this moment. Right now, we're building an intelligence and identity layer for the decentralized internet. Snowball's purpose was to democratize access to information. We came into market trying to be the bridge for the masses as we go through this financial revolution of physical assets turning into digital assets. And now we're on this adventure to solve the identity and reputation problem.
This is the holy grail. This is such a big deal.
We are building an on-chain username that will be self-sovereign. It can be anonymous, and you get one username for the internet. The second thing we're building is on-chain reputation score. We're allowing people to see how valuable they are on-chain. And we're allowing them to do these different actions to be able to make their reputation greater such that they can get more value.
You just rattled off some of your investors, like it's nothing. Co-founder of Twitch, co-founder of YouTube, co-founder of all these major pieces. Why? Why do they say, yeah, I'm in on Parul?
As an entrepreneur, as a man, it's very, very important for you to be as truthful and honest with yourself. And ask yourself, what are your beliefs that may be merited on hope or desire versus actual truth? We are these breath gasping, heart throbbing, decaying food for worms, right? We're in this like temporary experience. What can we do that actually leaves our mark?
And so what will you leave behind?
Well, I think I'll leave a legacy of allowing people to own their identity on the internet. I want to positively touch the lives of 1 billion or more people by way of the technology that I build, the investments that I do. That's my clear path.
Booyah. We love Perul. We love the vibes. We have really good founders that are always just thinking a bit more, more than just money. And that's what we really like to attract, and that's what we're really about as well. Folks, we've been asked recently, how does London Real pick so many winners? Because there's starting to be quite a lot of them. And we thought long and hard about it, and we realized that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We've been doing this for over 4 years. We've gotten very good at it. We've got an amazing network. We have a lot of intellectual property. We have an incredible community, and we're just getting warmed up. Folks, a lot of you have tried to invest in crypto on your own, and you felt a little bit like Drake on top. You really struggled. You've lost money, and you probably think that it's just a jungle out there. It's a bunch of cowboys. And I don't blame you, because if you don't have a community, if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have education, you're going to struggle. And I've been there before. When I first got into this business, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I got burned. A lot of people quit, and they forget to see all of the beauty, all of the greatness that crypto brings. And so I would encourage you to try this again if that's you, and come in, but do it differently this time. Don't try to do it on your own. Don't try to go into Twitter or X and follow a couple people and buy a couple random coins on an exchange. If you do that, you're going to have the same problem. But if you come along and invest with ourselves, then I believe that is your path to financial freedom. And it's called the Investment Club. Folks, this is the product we created 4 years ago to finally give wealth, freedom, and opportunity to our family of people all over the world we call London Realers. These are millions of people out there that believe in the same things we believe in. And we thought, what's the best way to change their life? Yes, ideas are great and action is great, but what if we could give them all huge chunks of wealth so they could go out and magnify and amplify their impact? And that's what the Investment Club is. So far, 150 people have paid to join us and have had tremendous success. And if you're struggling with money, if you're confused how to get out of that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, if you're sick and tired of the bills coming in and not knowing what to do, we have the solution for you. And if this is of interest to you, I highly recommend you book a call with Martini. She is the only person that allows people in, and she can have a conversation with you to find out if this is the right fit. And here are 4 different ways to book a call with her. And of course, inside the chat here, you can go ahead and also click one of those links and take your next steps. And I'll mention this as well at the end. Folks, we also have a 4-week Crypto and DeFi Academy, 4 weeks, 4 modules. It's invitation only. And we're starting this next week. This is a way to go from zero to hero in all things Bitcoin, blockchain, and Web3. It really is incredible. Thousands of people have graduated, and it gives you 8 hours of live calls. I personally teach these live. You get access to our online e-learning platform. You have my triple-tiered accountability system to make sure you do the work. You get dedicated coaches, team leaders, and community managers. There's even a private group for posting assignments. We really have this dialed in, and we've created a lot of success and a lot of wealth. Of course, we have this in 4 modules. The first module, you really get the history of the creation of Bitcoin back in 2009 to where we are today with all sorts of blockchains and exciting things going on, and now stablecoin legislation passing in the United States government. Then we go into week 2. You set up your hot wallets, your cold wallets, your exchanges, and you do your very first decentralized finance trade. Week 3 is more complex DeFi instruments, and week 4, we show you how to profit by trading and positioning your portfolio for the future. This really is everything you need to know, and it's the perfect way for you to jump in right now. And of course, on this live call right now, you are pre-approved. If you go to londonreal.tv/buy, you could go ahead and grab your place in the Crypto and DeFi Academy for a discounted price. And of course, here's my 8-step trading checklist. If you take a screenshot of this, trust me, hopefully you'll never make a bad trade again, because this is going to make sure you don't make all those stupid mistakes that so many newbie traders make. Folks, this is the big news. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP spike as Trump says Iran and Israel agree to a ceasefire. This is incredible, folks. Bitcoin back above 105,000, oil going down to the floor. And now the word is that Iran and Israel have a ceasefire. This is incredible news, folks. And the markets have reacted. Stocks are up, Bitcoin's up, oil's down. This is what we want, folks. And of course, on top of that, Donald Trump posted just a few days ago about the Senate passing the Genius Act. Now, Genius is an acronym, and it's about the stablecoin legislation that's going to make stablecoins legal in the United States. I can't explain how massive this is. When this passes, not only will every single bank create a stablecoin, which is basically a dollar asset on the blockchain that you can move at the speed of light, but other companies like Amazon and Walmart already want to create their own coins, and it's going to basically bring all 330 million people in America on chain. This is going to do so much for crypto. It's going to make all my members just filthy rich. And this is probably going to get passed in the next week. They're talking about it passing before July 4th. And of course, we know that trillions are going to hit the Bitcoin market on the back of this massive game changer. And Trump's Bitcoin push is really sparking this entire global race for digital currency control, because everybody knows the next fight, the next war is going to be in cyberspace. And now we see banks like Standard Chartered saying that every Bitcoin is going to be worth $500,000 in the near future. They're saying this in 26. That's 5x from where it is today. And of course, recently we saw the IPO of Circle, one of the most reliable stablecoins out there. It was oversubscribed and then was up 10x. Again, I can't explain how crazy this is. It was valued, I think, originally at $7 billion, and then it got up to 60-some billion dollars. And this is Jeremy Allaire. We had him on the show a few years ago, and we're really happy for his success. Folks, we also know nation states are buying crypto. They're buying it everywhere. We know that places like China and Russia, and now gentlemen like this in the Middle East from Qatar and Saudi Arabia and Kuwait are starting to buy it as well. And Abu Dhabi just publicly said they bought $500 million. We also know all these purchases are going to create a new wave or a $15 trillion earthquake. It's going straight for Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and more. It's time to invest, folks. And of course, you know me. I recently ran to be mayor of London on a pro-crypto, pro-freedom of speech standpoint. I wanted all the voting to be on the blockchain. I wanted all the budget of London to be on the blockchain. And I wanted to create, here in this article, you can see the London coin. I was going to give 100 pounds of crypto to every resident in this city to give them the financial education they never received. Of course, London wasn't ready for me. So I'm just taking all that energy and I'm making all my members rich instead. Folks, this is me in our studio in Dubai, speaking with the biggest influencers in crypto. These are the people that bring me the deals that can make you millions of dollars. This is Dr. Marwan, my friend, runs the Dubai Blockchain Center. This is Yuni Wong. She's huge in meme coins and crypto investing. This is Carl the Moon. He is an early crypto investor, was working as a grocery store clerk 8 years ago, and now has over $1 billion in crypto. And this is Chris. Chris was a taxi driver in Germany 7 years ago and now has over $1 billion in crypto. So when you tell me you're too late, when you tell me you're uneducated, compare yourself to these two gentlemen and then stop your excuses and pull the trigger and let's go. Folks, right now we're investing over $5 million into 15 different blockchain and AI deals this quarter. We're extremely active. And I tell you that because if you want to be active, if you want to make money, then go with someone who is making things happen. And that's what we're doing inside the investment club. And it's all because of this, London Real Ventures. This is the vehicle that gives us the power to take normal people like you and give you access to the biggest deals on the planet. It's what happens when you take a media company like London Real, 14 years of history, 1 billion views, and you combine it with a venture capital company with $25 million in capital. You get magic. And the magic looks like this, our portfolio. Each one of these protocols has the potential to become a $2 billion, $5 billion vehicle. And it's going to make all of my members just more money than they ever dreamed of. And of course, we've now just crossed a milestone and invested over $21 million into over 100 blockchain and AI deals. And we're just getting started, folks. One of the ways we win is to invest alongside the big names you've heard of, like Coinbase Ventures, Galaxy Digital, ARK Invest, Warner Brothers Music, you name it, they are our partners. And of course, recently we were recognized in the space as the best venture capital KOL of the year. KOL stands for Key Opinion Leader. And it's great when the industry says you're the best at what you do. And I was just really happy to accept this on behalf of all the members of our club. Recently in Dubai, I was named or given a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Global Family Office Investment Summit for our investments and our media. And of course, the crypto scene really knows who we are. because at Crypto Fight Night, I decided to step up and defend London Real's honor and try to teach this young man some manners. I think I did the job, but apparently he wants some more. So the rematch is in Singapore in October. Be there. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. We want people on our team that want to change the future, that want to provide for their children, that want to protect their family, that want to stand up for their values, that don't want to be dominated by AI, that don't believe in CBDCs, and that also believe that they can change it. I don't want people that are pessimists. I don't want worry warts. I don't want people that bury their head in the sand. If that's you, I don't want you part of my club, quite frankly. But if you want to help me change the future and help us change the future, then we're looking for you. And it's all down to our value system here. We believe in a transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. If you are down with that mission, then you're on Team London Real. And if you're not, get out of the way, because we're coming for you. All right. Now, a lot of you know that, of course, I do this pretty much 24/7 as our mission. But in the other hours I have during the day, I got these two fellas to look out for. And quite frankly, I'm concerned about their future. I'm concerned about providing for them and protecting them and making sure that there's a world they can live in 5, 10, 20 years. I don't know where we're going. And so my job every day is to take risk. And I do that with investing. I take risk. I do that with our business because I know that's the only way I'll be able to provide and protect these two beautiful young boys. All right. These are my guys, Caden 9 and Damon 8, soon to be 8. And so if you've got people that you're looking out for, if you want your values to be preserved, well, you better start taking some risk today. And it doesn't come from your 9-to-5 job, and it doesn't come from saving your pennies and giving them to your bankers to do Lord knows what with. It comes to you thinking outside the box, changing your behavior, taking a risk, doing something scary, and investing in digital assets with people who know what the hell they're doing. That's us, folks. If you choose that, your whole new future opens up into a reality of your choosing. But if you don't, then you're going to be destined, in my opinion, to failure and this whole cycle of poverty that you've probably been living in for parts of your life. Folks, this is a guest on London Real named Michael Saylor, and he is acquiring more Bitcoin every day than you can even imagine. All right. So far, he's bought $60 billion worth of Bitcoin, and he's going to buy another 40 billion before he's done. Michael believes that each one of those coins is going to $13 million each, which is 130x from where they are today. And he thinks that AIs and ETFs are going to power a decade-long gold rush for Bitcoin. Folks, you have to listen to Michael Saylor. And I always tell my students that this is the guy that you want to listen to if you want to learn anything about what's going on here. And so I want you now to listen to my last conversation with Michael. It's pretty epic, and listen carefully.
We went from investing 250 million in Bitcoin to 425 million in Bitcoin to eventually $1 billion in Bitcoin to $2 billion in Bitcoin to just slightly less than 4 billion.
You said there are decades when nothing happens, and there are weeks when Bitcoin happens.
So every decade, there's some profound paradigm shift. It's such an out of the blue idea that no one can conceive of why you would even want it. What you've got is a lot of people questioning all their premises, and rising through that chaos is a new idea. What if I can encrypt energy? What if I can encrypt money such that nobody on earth, no government can debase it, no corporation can steal it? I don't trust anybody. I'm going to create a shared immutable ledger, incorruptible, immortal, transcendental ledger. If I can transfer $1 million of value from me to you without an intermediary, that means I have transcended the political realm.
You said, Brian, I like Bitcoin because it has low aspirations.
The idea of Bitcoin was, how do I create a protocol that's fair and equitable that I give as a gift to the world that no one can control? If you're going to do it and you understand thermodynamics, and if you have any sense of genetics or biology or physics, you realize you need to be very humble in your aspirations. How do we give the gift of property rights, freedom, and sovereignty and empowerment to everybody on the planet? The best idea 30 years ago was YouTube or Google Maps, Twitter or Facebook or email. I think the best idea for the next 30 years is digital energy. Everybody can own their stuff, and nobody can take it away from them.
All right, we like Michael Saylor. Love his vision. He really is on point all of the time. Really teaches us a lot, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. He's probably the single largest holder of Bitcoin besides Satoshi. Takeaways from Michael is that crypto is encrypted energy. It's really like walking around with a pocket full of energy. No government can debase it. No corporation can steal it because crypto actually transcends money itself. So powerful. Folks, 2025 is the year of crypto, and you're about to miss the whole damn thing unless you start taking action. Please, please do something here. This is, I believe, your last chance to create generational wealth in one crypto cycle, and it can be done, but it means you got to get out of your comfort zone and start doing new things with new people that'll get you where you want to go. If you get the same behavior, you're going to get the same results, and you're probably not looking for that. I'm telling you, I've been around. I've seen a lot of things. I worked on Wall Street for 15 years. This is the opportunity you don't want to miss. So where and how do we invest? Well, first you have to find the hottest trend. And I will share with you our investment thesis in about 3 or 4 slides. But this is the thing you need, and you will never find this on your own. And that is deal flow. Deal flow is your access to the super premium, the hottest of the hot, the rocket ship deals on this planet. And you're not going to get it sitting in your house, going on YouTube, or checking X or Twitter. There's only one way to find these deals, and that's out there in the field. And that's why I spend a lot of my time traveling the world, building the relationships that will help me find the deals that will make you wealthy. And here I am in Dubai many years ago, with one of my first trips there, hanging out with big influencers, members of government, venture capitalists, influencers. From there, I went to Paris, France, had a very private dinner with some high-level VCs, and of course, more of some of the hottest deals on the blockchain. I'm doing media, more influencers. And from there, I went to London, where I'm based. I actually sat down with Yatsu of Animoca Brands in the studio, went to the Token 2049 conference, more influencers, more people. And then it was off to Austin, Texas. Here I'm hanging out with celebrities like William Shatner and Alex Jones, more VCs. And on the bottom right-hand corner, you can see me and 14 members of our investment club. Everybody always says, Brian, why are you laughing? Why are you smiling so much? It's because everybody in there is making so much money. They're happy. What can I say? But we're also making lifelong friends, and we're changing the world, hanging out with really cool investors as well, which is really, really amazing. Of course, from there, I had to go to Singapore, and I'll be back here in October. And there, more influencers, more media, and I'm trying to get a lot of attention with my different colored suits. These things actually brings us lots of deals as well. So there's a method to my madness. And from there, it was to Toronto, where I was recently to hang out at the Consensus Conference, meeting more influencers. And of course, in the bottom right-hand corner, we had an even bigger gathering of our investment club. It's amazing when we get everybody together because magic happens. And that's exactly what we do when we're together. We just love spending time. And it's a great way for us to catch up on deal flow and talk about our plans for the future. And of course, I always end up back in Dubai, where I get to hang out with big influencers like CZ and, premiere movies and interview people on stage. Folks, this is the rotation I do to get the deals that will change your life forever. What else do you need to do? If you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best. What does that mean? Well, this is a snapshot of the number of deals we're going to look at every single week. We're going to pick 4, 2 on Monday, 2 on Thursday for you to watch. This is a way for you to learn, but it's also a way for you to invest in the greatest deals in the world. But behind the scenes, we're putting in a lot of work to bring you these high quality deals. But there's more. You've got to understand the financial tools, and most of you don't. You really don't get it. You're buying random tokens on random exchanges, and you go to bed hoping at night. Well, as Jeff Bezos of Amazon once said, hope is not a strategy. It's not something we use here, and it's not how we've made a lot of money. We actually have the strategy, and we believe that early stage Web3, metaverse, and artificial intelligence investments represent the hottest opportunity on the planet. Why? Well, number 1 is you buy at super low valuations. Number 2, you see the biggest gains possible. Number 3, you invest in what I'm calling the biggest dislocation of wealth in human history. Yes, it's high risk, but the reward is even higher. And it's done through pre-sale tokens. this practice of secretly buying tokens from a CEO before they go on the market. And it's got us incredible results, incredible results. And here's one of those examples. I mentioned Solana, and you can see the red circle here on April 5th. You could have bought tokens inside the blue circle, price of 4 pennies each. 4 pennies each. You're probably thinking this can't even be true, but this is all public information on the blockchain. What happened? Well, you know what happened. If you had put $1,000 on the line that day, you'd be worth $5 million in one deal. One deal. Now, a lot of you say, well, money's not everything and money's the root of all evil. No, money gives you freedom. My job is to give you the freedom to quit your job, to give it away, to start your own business, to put your kids through college, whatever you want to do. And then you can go from there. Maybe you want to create something with your life. Maybe you want to write a book, whatever. I'm going to give you the freedom that will give you the life that I think you deserve. But it comes through pulling the trigger and investing money. And that's one of the really, really important things that you need to do. My job is to give you the information that will help you make the big money. It always reminds me of one of my favorite movies, Wall Street, when Gordon Gekko says the most valuable commodity I know of is information. The truth is that all the greatest traders in the world know that the right piece of information at the right time can make you billions and billions of dollars. And that's what our job is here to do. We're here to give you that information. And actually, it's something I do every single day. I've actually got a Telegram group in here called our Investment Club. And if you go into it, you can really see that inside this group, if you click on this link, you're going to be able to invest in a deal in about 30 seconds. And my job is to get you the best deals in the world as quickly as possible so you can go ahead and make those decisions of whether you want to invest your money or not. There's one more piece, folks. If you want to win in this space, you have to pull the trigger. You have to stop sitting on the sidelines and watching all of these opportunities go past you. I bet a lot of people here have missed some of the greatest opportunities in your life. Maybe you've watched friends or family make tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of dollars because you were too scared. Folks, fortune favors the brave, and you've got to pull the trigger. And when you do, great things happen. Now, I always like to play this video because this will remind you of a lot of things that you're doing in your life, all right? And so many of us, we watch all of these opportunities go by because we have these fears that we grew up with. Fears around money, fears that came from your parents and your grandparents because they didn't know you how to teach you about money and risk. And so what they told you is to be conservative and to save your pennies and don't draw outside the lines and never raise your voice. Well, guess what? How's that working out for you? And you're probably like this lion sitting here. Yeah, you're hungry, but you're just not ready. Not that one. No, I don't have the money. No, that one, I'm too tired. No, I work in 2 jobs right now. Maybe later. No, not that one. No, not that one. Maybe I'll wait for the next one. I don't know, maybe tomorrow. All these opportunities are passing you by. And then someone like me comes in and says, I'll take one of those, right? And our entire investment club gets a nice meal, right? Now, what's the difference between those 2 lines? Nothing. Just one decided that they wanted to go in there and have a bite, right? And so which one do you want to be? It really is just a simple decision. All you have to do is pull the trigger and move forward, and you'll be amazed what's on the other end. And this is what we've created by doing exactly that. Created a portfolio of over 100 of some of the most amazing companies in the world that are going to make my members filthy rich. And it's all because of London Real Ventures, folks. This is the entity that brings the deals to you, a normal everyday person, that'll change your life forever. And it all comes down to what I call my quadruple threat. This is why the CEOs give us access to their tokens, because they love what we do. Number one is production. They come to the studio, they get a 2-hour, 6-camera, incredible interview with me. 2 is distribution. We take that video asset and get it out to 5 million people in the world. Incredible, all potential customers. Number 3 is connection. We connect them with the big players in the space that can take their business to the next level. And number 4 is expansion. We write them a $200,000 check. I'm telling you, there's not a CEO on the planet that can say no to this. And that's why I can get you deals that you're never going to find anywhere else, the deals that'll change your life. Folks, there's one last piece, but I need to say this because this is probably why most of you have failed up to this point, because you don't surround yourself with the best. Now, how many people agree with this statement? You're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. I'd say most people know this is true. But who are you hanging out with? Most of you are spending your time with a toxic family member or a friend who's really going nowhere in their life. They have low aspirations. They're really negative. They critique any big dreams that you have, and they tell you just to mind your space, stay in your lane, don't make too much noise, and have another drink or watch some more TV or scroll your phone. Last time I checked, that's not going to make you wealthy. If you want to be wealthy, you're going to have to surround yourself with winners. And that's what we do here on the inside. And that's what I've been doing my whole life. I think I actually got lucky. Some of this is serendipity, but I found myself a Brian on the left side, that's 16 years old in San Diego, California, going on this adventure where I was constantly surrounded by people that were smarter than me and better than me and richer than me. And yeah, it made me feel stupid and it made me feel poor and it made me feel dumb. But every time I went to a place like MIT where I graduated, I was brought forward by all these smart people. When I finally made it to Wall Street, that picture on the right, these men and women making $9 to $10 or $12 million a year showed me how to get out of my comfort zone and make money. And what happened is I became one of those people. And so I'm telling you, this works. But if you think that if you're going to keep living your life as normal and you're not going to make changes, well, there's no way you're going to make changes in your wealth. It's time to leave some of the people in your life behind you. And that's why I created the investment club. So you can hang out with people like Marianne Bartels. Marianne is a 35-year Wall Street veteran. She's made her clients tens of billions of dollars, and she's a founding member of my club. When you join our club, you can hang out with people like Marianne. And when you tell Marianne you want to make 10 million bucks this year in crypto, she'll look at you and say, is that it? Why don't you step up and do something big? Let's make 100 million bucks. She's going to push you to be the best version of yourself. This is Tigran, one of America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys. This is your new peer group, one of my founding members. You hang out with him, you're going to see he thinks differently. He's constantly looking for the next billion-dollar idea. He's not getting drunk at the pub. He's not watching 12 hours of Netflix. He's not scrolling on Instagram for 16 hours a day. He's out there changing his life and changing his family's lives. If you want to win, you need to spend time with people like this and not your current peer group. This is Andrew Haynes. He'll bring you up to speed with anything technical you need to understand in crypto, blockchain, gaming, you name it. Here he is, graduating from one of the top executive training schools in Switzerland. You need people like this in your group to take you to the next level. And of course, this is Dr. Encore. 4 years ago, he was in medicine, took my crypto and DeFi academy, then was the founding member of the investment club. And now we hired him a year ago to source deals for us. He's one of the best in the business. This is your new peer group. Folks, this is our family. And here's some behind the scenes pictures with members of our investment club. And what you see here are people that love being together. They love making money and they love changing the world. Do you see yourself here? How would you like to have these kind of moments with people? How would you like to create that generational wealth? How would you like to provide for your family? How would you like to protect them from an unknowing future? That's what we're doing. I believe your net worth is your network. If you really think carefully, you'll realize this is probably one of the biggest reasons you're not successful, because you're hanging out with the wrong people. I'm going to get you in a room with winners and you're going to start winning. I believe you get a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. We teach people how to fish. Education, financial education is priority one, and we're going to give it to you. And that's why we created the investment club. Because 4 years ago, we did our very first pre-sale token. It was a company called Cross the Ages, one of the hottest gaming companies in blockchain. And quite frankly, folks, it scared me. It freaked me out because I didn't know what I was doing. It was one of my first deals, my first pre-sale token deal. And I thought these guys were cowboys, and here I was, Mr. MIT Sloan School of Management graduate and Mr. 15 years in banking, but I didn't realize what they do in these spaces. I was on a Zoom call with a stranger. A minute later, he wanted 100,000 stable coins sent to a random wallet. And I said, bro, what are you, crazy? Slow down. He's like, you don't have time to slow down. You're going to miss this deal. And I thought, wow, on one hand, this is a chance for London reelers around the world to make more money than they've ever dreamed of. At the same time, this is a chance for London reelers all around the world to lose every single penny they've ever made. Now, if I can be there in the middle, if I can guide them and mentor them, if I can get them the deal flow, we could change so many lives by giving them the wealth that will change the world. And that's why we started this club. And here are the details. It's application only. There's only 10 spaces available every quarter, and they're always gone. We're oversubscribed. It's 6 modules, 3 months of coursework. It's a 12-month program, but guess what? No one's ever left. It's turned into a lifetime program. We do weekly live Zoom calls with top CEOs. We're actually going to do 4 every week. We got a private Telegram group. You get access to all the deal flow. And if you don't know crypto, no problem. We're going to give you a full year of our Kings of DeFi program and bring you up to speed to all things blockchain. Next live call is Thursday, 7 p.m. Come join us. Send Martini a message and you can be there. It's going to be amazing. We teach this remote. You can be anywhere in the world and get wealthy. This is our syllabus. Module 1, what is a crypto pre-sale token? I sent you a link to that earlier. Module 2, what is a SAFT? I'll bet you have no idea what a SAFT is, which means you're probably going to stay poor the rest of your life. And I hate to be brutal, but it's true. If you don't understand the tools that the rich use to get richer, you're going to be stuck in a cycle of poverty. And guess what? It's going to get much worse in the next couple of years. A SAFT is a simple agreement for future tokens. I'm going to teach you how to use them and how they're going to make you millions of dollars. Module 3, how to identify early winners. We're going to show you how to evaluate companies and find out whether they're good or bad using my 5T system. Module 4, how to generate new deal flow. I'm going to show you what conference to go to, what ticket to buy, what to wear, and how you can use QR codes on your mobile phone to scan deals and get them right back to the group within minutes. Module 5, how do you nurture these deals into multi-billion-dollar protocols? And module 6, what do you do with all the cash? You're going to have so much cash, you're not going to know what the heck to do with it. I recommend you spend some, buy a fancy car, put the rest in your savings, and put the rest back into deals and start making that wealth for the next generation. Put your grandkids through college. This is our Telegram group. This is our Discord group. And here are the details, folks. We are oversubscribed, right? People all over the world want in on this because nobody is offering an opportunity like this. No one has the education. No one has the 14-year history. No one has the access to deal flow. Those 10 spaces go fast. And the investment in the mentorship, in the community, in the education, in the deal flow for the rest of your life is $50,000. And that gets you the hottest deals in the world. Now, look, I get it. $50,000 is a significant amount of money. It is. But that will also get you unlimited financial returns, which is unheard of. And of course, it's your chance to take part in the greatest wealth creation event in human history. And the 2 deals I showed you earlier are ending now. You're going to miss them unless you pull the trigger and take action. And you're going to kick yourself when you see Nara's protocol on the New York Stock Exchange in a couple of years and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I could have had a piece of that. But you didn't because you're like the lion. You watch another deal go by. Don't be that lion. This is a SAFT agreement. It's a legal document. Don't let it intimidate you. And this is the deal you missed last quarter. It was up nearly 5x in one day. Now, why do I show you this? I show you this because if you had stopped with all the excuses, if you had stopped with the fear and the procrastination, if you had stopped researching this to death and put 10K on this one deal, you would have paid for the club for the rest of your life. Imagine hanging out with high-performance people for the next 20 years. Imagine seeing all the money we're making. Imagine learning crypto deal flow. Imagine investing in those deals. It would change your life forever. But you didn't. You found some excuse, and another amazing opportunity passed you by. But you've seen our track record. Shrapnel was up 20x in 20 days, a $5 million profit. Skillful AI up 20x on the launch. Mochaverse up 20x. Story up 22x. Cats up 14x. And our $1 billion fund up 4x. We have success after success after success after success. How many more of these do you need to see before you realize this is the opportunity? It's happening now, and we're literally waiting for you to join. This is my pledge to my club. I'm going to create $10 billion for them in the next 10 years. And the truth is, it's probably going to happen in 5. And I can't wait to see my members flying private, buying the cars, getting the beachfront property, and balling. I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's going to be one of the highlights of my life. Folks, we got amazing members. Each one has a story, and they've also uploaded a video talking about their experience. And you go to londonreal.tv/club, and you can watch every single one of these videos. And while you're there, book a call with Martini and have a conversation. Carol says every member is both a learner and an investor. Joe says the window of opportunity is closing quickly, and you know he's right. You're about to miss this deal. Jerry's just honored to be part of the club, loves the vibe and the friendships. Dr. Yvette, she's a single mom with 4-year-old twins. What's your excuse? She's in there pulling the trigger, doing 10, 15 deals, and you're telling me you're busy? You're not busy. you're in a fear of success moment or a fear of failure moment. Push through it. The other side is incredible. This is Jens, asked a great question. How can you afford not to do this? You can't. You really can't. You're going to kick yourself later. This is Petsia. She couldn't afford the club and she joined anyways. She then forced herself to find the money to pay for the club. And then on the back of finding that money, she invested in 63 deals. She actually manifested her fortune and future by putting herself in a scary and difficult situation. Are you prepared to do that? Well, then why do you deserve the reward if you're not willing to take the risk? This is Chris. He says the deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. What I love about Chris is he's got a 14-year-old son and he invests alongside his son. He literally puts $1,000 cash in the deal and Chris puts in the other 4,000. It's amazing. We love fathers and sons, husbands and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends. We think financial education is a family affair. And this is what Chris said to us recently.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals, a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals, and that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week, and for me that was huge because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
All right, booyah, there you go. Love seeing Chris. Chris is an amazing member of the club. Really is a standout, and we love having people like Chris in on that. Really incredible, his vibes. Folks, it only takes one. Remember, one of these deals can change your life forever. Make sure you have one of these in your portfolio. Final thoughts is don't let this year pass you by. This is it, folks. You can learn early stage investing now. What I teach you, you can use the rest of your life. Remember what I said. If you go buy a token from an exchange, someone like me is already taken out 40, 50x. You're not going to make those 20x, 30x, 40x returns with something you buy on an exchange. It's just not going to happen. You have to go further upstream. You got to go back to the well. You got to go early stage. And of course, we're giving you a chance to learn from active elite investors for only $50,000 for a lifetime membership. That's nothing. I know people that run billion-dollar funds. If you ask them for access to their deal flow, if you ask them to teach you how to do this for the next 5, 10 years, for a measly 50K, they would throw you out of the office. They wouldn't do it for 500K. This is an amazing opportunity. And yes, it's a significant investment, but that will get you unlimited financial returns. And now, thanks to Martini, we have a payment plan. So for $10,000 a month for the next 6 months, you're in. What does that mean? If you have limited capital, 10K gets you in. You could put 5K in Naris, 5K in Snowball. You're going to have tokens in the next 3 weeks. That's liquidity. That's real. And it gets you the best deal flow in the world. Folks, I always like to think of Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors ever. He said the best investment you can actually make is in yourself. He was talking about surrounding himself with winners. He did that. You didn't do that. He got results. You didn't. The biggest thing you should invest in is getting in the right room with the smart people and the positive people and the winners. Get away from your current peer group. It's what got you where you are today. And if you're on this call listening to me, you clearly want out. And the only way to do that is to book a call with Martini. Here's 4 different ways. She put these links in the chat as well. And remember, though, if you do book a call with Martini, make sure you're serious about joining today. Not tomorrow, not next week. She's there to listen to you and figure out if this is a good fit for you, but make sure you are serious about joining because she's very busy talking to a lot of people that are very serious. And of course, if you want, you can start next week and join our Crypto and DeFi Academy in 4 weeks. I'm going to get you through 4 modules and take you from a zero to a hero in all things Bitcoin and blockchain. It's got 8 hours of live calls. You get access to our e-learning platform. You got my triple tiered accountability system, dedicated coaches, team leaders, community managers, and of course that private group for posting assignments. And you are pre-approved to buy at a discount price at LondonReal.tv/buy. And of course, don't forget to take a snapshot of this. This will save you a lot of money. Go through this checklist before you go ahead and buy some stupid token and take some losses on it, which is probably your next trade, unless you have some mentorship, education, and a community, which is what we're doing. Folks, what is your why? These guys. Why are you doing this? Why are you on this planet? Why are you making those sacrifices? I bet it's not just for yourself. I bet it's for the people around you that you love and care about. Well, these are my boys. And I bet you have people that you care about. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your brother and sister, maybe you have children, maybe it's your husband, wife. I don't know. Maybe it's your community, maybe it's your country. I don't know. The question is are they worth it? Are they worth it for you to go ahead and pull the trigger? Are they worth it for you to go ahead and take some risks? Because they're going to be looking to you to provide. They're going to be looking to you to protect. And that's not going to be given to you. You're not going to save your way into financial freedom. You're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to invest in something that you don't know much about. But that is the way where you can take control and you can provide for the people in your life. And that's why I'm here every day pulling the trigger myself. And whenever I'm in doubt or have a tough day or I'm not sure, I remind myself who I'm doing this for, and then it becomes very easy. Folks, this is the video I promised at londonreal.tv/bonus. Click here and you'll get a snapshot of what we do behind the scenes. Take a look. And of course, join us for one of our next pitch calls on a Monday or a Thursday. Reach out to Martini or go to londonreal.tv/club call. We'd love to see you. You'll really get a feel for it, but don't wait on this opportunity. Time is happening now. Folks, I'd love to answer some questions for you here. Just send me a DM if you got a question about anything. And also, I can see we got Martini here, who just does everything behind the scenes. And she's also your point of contact when you're ready to join us and change your life forever. Martini, would love to get your thoughts. Always valued.
Yes, absolutely. Well, great call today, Brian. And it was definitely good to see everybody who was on the line here. And for those of you who are on the live stream as well, hopefully you were able to take away some of the gems that Brian dropped today and really get yourself prepared and positioned properly for these next couple of months and for years to come. So if you are looking into investing in early stage companies that are here to change the world, we definitely want to support you in that. So I put some links inside of the chat below. The very first link is for you to go ahead and check out the Investment Club page, and that's going to give you rundown detail of what the Investment Club is all about, what we stand for, and where we see ourselves going together for the next 10 years. The next step is when you've taken a look at the sales page and you've taken a look at some of the emails that Brian has sent, please be sure to go ahead and schedule a call with me if you are ready to go ahead and join us in the Investment Club, and if you're ready to pull the trigger and start investing alongside us now. If you do not see a time that's available on my calendar, please be sure to go ahead and send me a private message on Facebook Messenger. That's always the fastest way to get me, or you can send me an email at martini@londonreal.tv and let me know who you are, where you're from, and the best time to get a hold of you within your time zone, and we'll definitely make it work. And then, of course, last thing there is if you want to go ahead and experience us in real time and come on one of our actual Investment Club calls, we have them every Monday and every Thursday, where we have live CEOs pitching their companies. You'll see Brian doing the Shark Tank style questions. And then you'll also see how our community, well over 150 members from all over the world in different walks of life and different income levels, coming to come together to invest in these amazing deals. So guys, regardless of what's going on with the politics, regardless of what's going on in the world, we want to make sure that every single person in our London Real community, as well as our Investment Club, are positioned properly. So we hope to see you on the inside soon, and back to you, Brian.
Amazing stuff. Thank you, Martini. Always appreciate those insights. And again, we are here to help you. I think so many of us struggle with money. It's something that was never taught in our schools. It's something that constantly frustrates people. I think they find it, honestly, one of the worst things in their lives. But if you can find a way to turn that 180 degrees and master it, you can find it's one of the greatest things in your life. And again, we at London Real don't believe that money is the end goal. Money is just a tool to give you the life that you dreamed of. And I think that the biggest problem that people have out there is they obsess about money. And when they get it, they look around and think, wow, this sucks. And I actually was there back in the day. I obsessed about it my whole life. And when I got it, I realized that I still had all my problems. What I really needed to find was purpose. I really needed to find people to serve. And by having this money, you can find that path. You can find what you're here to do. And that's really what we're all about. And that's what makes us really unique. I think that's one of the reasons we attract so many great deals and great founders. And quite frankly, so many great members of our community, because we're really doing it different, because it really is that London Real ethos. And so look, if something resonated with you here, it's for a reason. If you listen to this, it's for a reason. Trust me, this is something you need to do. Book this call, and I can't wait to see you all on the inside. Until then, stay positive, get involved in this crypto bull run. And again, we look forward to seeing you on one of those calls on Monday or Thursday. Drop by. You'll really enjoy it. You'll get a flavor. And then, of course, we look forward to bringing you into the private Telegram group where all the fun happens. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Martini. Thanks, everybody here. We appreciate you. And we'll see you on
the mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission?
Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club, where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments? Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here. In my investment club, it's a 12-month program, 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics.
I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways.
I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals.
Just go in, bam, 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 bam.
This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals.
Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time.
I'm telling you, this is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business.
No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking.
If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this.